Hi Leo, and welcome to your reading for March 2019. My name is Melanie. Just going to dive right into the reading for this month for Leo, Sun, Rising and Moon signs. This of course may or may not resonate with you. It's a general reading, so take what you like and leave the rest. So I do a 5-card spread. The 5 cards that came out for you guys for this month are the Hanged Man in the position of past energy. The second card representing current issues, the current situation in March, the 7 of Cups card there. In the third position being about any obstacles that may show up for Leos this month, the World card. Possible helpful tools this month, the Hermit card. And the outcome card for the month for Leos is the Queen of Cups. And that single card there lying down representing the overall theme for the month, and I use those cards more like oracle cards, and the card that came through for you guys is called Clapsticks, meaning reverberations, and I'll be reading from a booklet at the end of the reading about what that card specifically means and how we can tie it into the rest of the reading here. So starting with the past and what may be affecting or impacting the current issues this month. And the card that came out for you guys was the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man is a card of being in limbo, of being suspended, as you can see. Sometimes it's about things being put on hold, a new perspective. You know, obviously he's upside down, so there might have been some reviewing and readjustment of things. It's a card about waiting for a new perspective, sort of getting yourself into a place of peace and calm, so that some sort of insight can come, letting go of that process and trusting that clarity will come. It's kind of about, whilst it's in limbo and there's a delay of things, usually there's a suspension of things, there's this sense of having to sacrifice something and surrender and putting decisions on hold. If you willingly do this and allow this, usually some peace and clarity will come. It looks like you've had to be willing to sort of almost turn yourself upside down to see something in a completely new light, and ideally you would have been in tune with your intuition and kind of going with the flow in that sense, to get in alignment with the universe and allowing those answers to come once you've put yourself on hold, once you've paused things, once you've suspended things. So it looks like you've been in a position of limbo, of suspension, of kind of waiting. Perhaps you felt quite stuck, you've been unable to move forward on an issue, you haven't been able to see how that is possible. Maybe there hasn't been enough clarity or perspective, but it looks like you willingly embrace this to a degree, in that you know you need to kind of do something different in order to get a different perspective, and just allow the process of not knowing and needing to look at things from a completely different perspective. You've kind of embraced that in some regards and been willing to wait for that clarity, to trust yourself, to trust the universe. So we'll just see how that ties in as we walk through the rest of the reading. So moving into the current month of March for Leos, that card that came out for you is the 7 of Cups. So we can see we've got 2 Cups cards in this reading, and the other 3 cards are all major arcana cards. Just something to note there. I think a significant month that has a strong emotional overtone about it, an issue or situation has presented itself or did, and now you're needing to work on that and needing to make choices and reflect and trust yourself in that process. Quite an emotional process going on, I think, because the 7 of Cups card is about choices, needing to make a choice, but it can be a card about being a little bit too caught up in fantasy and wishful thinking and dreaming away things, and that really nothing is quite what it seems. It's a bit like pipe dreams. And you're trying to work out, of the choices presented to you, which one to choose. And they may not seem, any of the choices may not seem awesome, but you're going to have to choose one. The thing is not to, or a choice may come up for you unexpectedly, and you're going to have to make a decision. It's this kind of a sense of being at a fork in the road and not sure which branch or avenue to take, which path to take, because they all seem they either seem murky or they seem a bit too good to be true. These sort of shiny objects placed in front of you, and you're like, do I want that one? Do I want that one? And maybe getting a bit caught up in fantasy and a bit in your head. It's saying that there's probably a lot of doorways that are opening up this month. Fantastic. I know I'm excited about that. I'm a Leo sun. And ultimately, of course, what we choose helps to define who we are. So it's kind of quite serious, really. Just be wary of making a decision not overly based on emotion. Take that into account, but be rational at the same time and grounded in that, so that you have a good foundation upon which to make a choice. I think that's interesting if you're coming from that position of the hanged man and kind of being in limbo, not quite sure what to do, needing a new perspective on things. And here comes March with some new offerings, I think, coming in, and they're kind of adding to a sense of fantasy and illusion for you, and I think that makes sense, because if you're really stuck and in limbo about something, you don't want to be really, any new choice or any new offering that comes up, you're like, excellent, that looks amazing. But if you were to look at that in the cold light of day, standing upright instead of hanging suspended, you might go, actually, that actually doesn't really truly fit for me if I tap into myself and my intuition. So it looks like there's going to be some stuff on offer this month. So just be wary and be mindful of the emotions and looking beyond the emotions that come along with some doorways opening up. And just, like I said, still use your rational mind and analyse and have a broad perspective of what's on offer this month. What may come up as an obstacle for Leos this month is the World card there. So this is the last card of the major arcana, and typically it represents completion and the end of a cycle, the end of a journey. There's now, it represents the cyclic nature of life, and now you're typically with this card, there's something has finished and ended, and you're kind of reveling in that and celebrating in that. There's sort of a victory about this conclusion. It can represent travel as well. It's about luck, and luck being on your side, and the universe is on your side looking out for you, and that what you want is there, but you have to reach out and grab it. Obviously, you've got to do the groundwork. It's a reminder that all things are possible. Really, in the eyes of the universe, there are endless possibilities, which now is interesting, thinking about the Seven of Cups cards. Seven of Cups card there, offering some possibilities, and some of them may seem a little bit too good to be true. The World card, in the obstacle position, given maybe you are a little bit fearful of stepping out into the world now, of making a choice, completing something, finishing up something, maybe leaving something, maybe leaving a job or a relationship, or changing something quite dramatically and choosing a completely new path. Maybe there's a resistance to that, a resistance to finishing something and stepping out into the world. So just be mindful of that resistance within you, that you perhaps can see an end inside, or that something has to finish up. You just know it. I know it. And maybe there's a lot of fear associated with that. And if I finish this, what does that mean? Where to from here? Am I going to be able to survive? Am I going to be able to cope? What's going to fill its place? Valid questions, valid fears. It's okay to be afraid of change, as long as that doesn't stop us from moving forward on that cycle of life. And on that note, what may be useful this month in regard to that, and perhaps even in regard to making a decision about something, and perhaps ending something and starting something new, We have the Hermit card in the position of helpful tools. The Hermit is about introspection. It's about choosing to go within, choosing some solitude, some alone time, getting way back in touch with yourself. The Hermit is a wise person, very contemplative kind of space to be in. The Hermit seeks truth, seeks enlightenment, seeks justice. The Hermit is relying on himself. He's going alone and he's quite content in that soul-searching kind of process of looking at something solely on your own, not necessarily even talking to other people or learning things from other people right now, but just taking a step back. I think this card is really encouraging us Leos to be a little bit introspective, practice some solitude this month, engage in solitary activities that bring peace and clarity and wisdom, such as meditation, mindfulness, yoga, walking, baking, anything that shifts you into that quiet, introspective space. And from there, some light. We can see the Hermit there holding a light in front of him. That light generally is not for him to see the way, but for others to see him, kind of thing. He's helping other people, standing on top of the mountain, sometimes perhaps warning them like a lighthouse to say, what, there's mountains here. But people can see the wisdom inherent in him. So this is quite a personal and a spiritual card. So what may be useful for you guys this month in making some choices and changing your perspective on something is to go within. And whilst that may feel like quite an alone place, it is an alone place. It doesn't, and it may at times feel lonely. We're never alone ultimately, and this is about getting in touch with our inner universe and the outer universe and trusting that. The outcome for this month, if we go through this journey, is the Queen of Cups. Queens represent the emotional aspects of a suit, and of course the Cups cards are the suit of emotions and feelings. Queens, this is a court card. A queen could actually be a woman in your life, or a person of any gender who represents the energies of this card, who's very nurturing, who's very in touch with her emotions. She represents emotional security, calmness. She's intuitive, compassionate. There's a lot of deep feeling here, and a gentle kind of affection and being in control of one's emotions. Sometimes the Queen of Cups may be a little impractical. She might not look broadly enough. She may be a little bit too influenced by her emotions, but it may be prone to romantic delusions, mood swings and stuff like that. But overall, she's very mature. She's very devoted, faithful, a very good friend, very wise. She helps dreams become real. She's about happiness and success and pleasure and really beautiful feelings of trust and tender love, and being able to balance out intuition and emotion, and how your relationships are with other people. So the Queen of Cups thinks with her heart. She's not very mental. I guess that's a good thing, but mental isn't crazy. But she trusts her heart. She lets her heart guide her and her feelings guide her. In that way, sometimes she can lack a bit of the thinking ability and the rationality, but she can be intuitive and dreamy, really in touch with her feelings. And I think the universe, and that makes sense to me in terms of if you engage some of those hermit-like qualities of solitude and solace and going within, being by yourself, you will tap into your intuition and move into that position of the Queen of Cups card, and maybe that is going to help you make that decision, make a choice, or look at things more clearly about what's on offer. May help you finish something up, to start something new and step out into the world, take a risk, and be guided by your feelings, but not all the feelings of not being overwhelmed by one's feelings, particularly of fear and anxiety that come along with something needs to change here and I'm not too sure which path to choose. Finally, looking now at the card called Clapsticks and Reverberations, representing your overall theme for the month. So I read from this book here, the Dreamtime Reading Cards booklet, and like I said, I use these cards more like sort of oracle cards. I find the words and the pictures absolutely beautiful. Clapsticks, reverberations. So what does this mean for Leos this month? Clapsticks is the common name given to two pieces of wood that are carved and sanded for the purpose of creating music by banging them together. Different Aboriginal language groups shape them in slightly different ways. The clapsticks my grandfather, that's the author talking, made for us were flattish and sat across your palm rather than being held in the fist. The noise they create is deep, rhythmic and reverberates well. They are used for music, dance and ritual. Their sounds echo through the years, not only as a connection to ancestors, but also like a heart beating. The sound connects you with your own breath and heartbeat. To me, that's the hermit kind of energy. And with the land you stand on, as the vibrations reverberate through space and time. Kind of like the world card there. Throughout the whole world, these reverberations go. The Clapsticks card signifies the need for cleansing and clearing space via the use of vibrations. It also reminds you of the rhythm of your own heartbeat and your own personal history, your cultural connection to your ancestors, which you carry in your blood and DNA. Clapsticks speak of cultural connections and encourage you to celebrate and share your culture. For me, that's the author, they are a reminder of the importance of intergenerational learning and ensuring that the next generation knows the truth about the ancient songlines of the beautiful country of Australia, or whichever country you reside in. I think there's some really powerful stuff that's going on this month for Leos that may have reverberations throughout time and meaning your future and where you head now. Maybe like this, the Clapsticks is encouraging you to use some sort of rhythm, music, tribal kind of energy or beats to help get you in touch with some really deep energy and source. I think tapping into the source. So on that note, Leo, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm really grateful and appreciative that you've taken the time to watch and listen to this reading for March. If you've liked it, you know what to do. All the best for this month, and hopefully I'll see you back in April.